Hit the button. Here we go. Here we go. We can actually slide that over out of the way. Oh, or delete it. That's not what I wanted at all, but I will take it. We're gonna go live with this. All right. This is a new experience, a new thing to try, and I'm making all kinds of terrible jacket noises, which is exactly what you shouldn't do when it comes to converting things into an audio version. Hey, how's it going? I am trying a new thing. I'm very nervous, but very excited about trying it. It's pretty much just going TikTok live, but I thought it would be a fun idea to kind of convert it into more of a podcast thing. And I had come up with the greatest podcast name of all time to really express the geekness of that is me. And that is the time I wanted to be a content creator, so I made a podcast called the Geek Dimension Isekai. And to anyone that watches anime, you probably got the joke. Yeah, so this whole thing is going to be where I'm just gonna, I don't know, ramble, talk about various topics relating to just the geek culture in general. And yeah, it's like I thought it would be fun to make it live so that way people can, interact at the same time, and maybe we could just have all kinds of fun with that, and then I can easily convert it into the video podcast, and then easily convert it to an audio podcast, and hopefully everything works out all right. That being said, I am kind of nervous about this overall because I don't know how well something like this is going to do. It could ultimately tank because, usually when I see podcasts, usually there's someone else. Usually there's someone that people riff off of, whether it's a co-host or whether they have guests on. And I do know that I could do a co-hosting thing on TikTok, and I do think that maybe we'll do stuff like that down the line, but I figure starting things off, I should probably get my feet wet slowly, just test the water and stuff, and start things by myself. And you're absolutely right. I don't know exactly how to, it's I don't know if I should call you Die, call you Go, call you 42, but you're absolutely right. It doesn't hurt to try. And it's just nerves, And, actually this works out anyway. I should take off my, my jacket anyhow. It's warming me up, but this first episode, I figured should just kind of introduce the idea of what it is that we're going to be doing in the upcoming episodes. And, yeah, just kind of general understanding of everything. So according to my notes here, I should start things off by introducing myself and giving a background, right? So, I'm Isekarl. The only real thing I really do is stuff here on TikTok. That was the big thing that I kind of started working on, was making, geek related content on TikTok. So I think by that association, that's what led me to this overall idea. And, I just want to talk about generally all things geek related. That's actually one of the things that I hate about the, not just TikTok, not just the TikTok algorithm specifically, but the YouTube or social media algorithms specifically, because when it comes to it, it wants you to niche on the most specific thing you possibly can. And the thing of it is, I'm not good at that. I'm like a jack of all trades. I've messed with everything, but I mastered none of it. I have only a vague amount of information about a good chunk of things. So I figured I figured we can just kind of talk about like our favorite things, and then not only that, I mean, my computer's right here. So, like, anything that I'm interested in, like maybe stuff that you guys might end up talking or wanting to, like, talk about and stuff, I could just look up, right? And I can see what's currently going on in, like, video games, anime, comics, TV shows, stuff like that. Just the entire whole aspect of, like, the geek culture. And, like, I think the best part about doing it live is the fact that it's similar to, like, kind of like the podcast mentality of being able to, like, create communities and stuff based off of, similar interests. But it allows, like, it allows for, like, the immediate interaction. Like, you don't have to wait until, like, they respond to a comment, or like they read, tweets and stuff like that. You get to just, like, kind of get involved with whatever topic that's going on. Just be you, bro. Oh my God, you have been absolutely fantastic. You guys, you're absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for support. Because I am very nervous. I'm very nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. I usually ramble about all kinds of stuff anyway. And it's just, this is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to make stuff like this, to where, like, I could get together with people and, like, just enjoy our favorite things. And like, the geek culture has just been, like, such a huge part of my life. Like, I think I can't even remember when it all started. I think I'd have to go off of, like, different things. So, like, for me, like, when it came to video games, I think the biggest thing for me when it came to video games was Game Boy. Game Boy, I spent so much time on. I mean, I dabbled with consoles earlier on in my, like, youth, but, like, Game Boy was, like, forever. I think I started, like, with, like, Sega, and then I dabbled with Atari, Super Nintendo. These were all just dabbling. But, like, when I had Pokemon Yellow, when I had Pokemon Silver, I was on that for years. I took that thing with me everywhere. Check out my likes. Oh my God. Thank you for dumping the likes. Thank you for giving the love. Thank you guys so much. You're awesome. When you do something you like, life gets better. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what all of this should be about, like, you're welcome. You want more? You don't have to. Actually, if you guys don't mind, you guys can always tell me your favorite things. I'm always willing to listen too. Like, you can tell me your favorite video games, anime. Do you guys read comics? You got, yes, I am. Yes, I am a Ravenclaw. I was wearing my jacket. It's upside down, but, like, yeah, I am. But yeah, like, you guys can tell me your favorite TV shows, anything. What do you guys like? I would love to hear more. Oh, I also would love to talk about TTRPGs. I would love to talk about, like, stuff like D&D. If that's, like, your guys' cup of tea, by all means, like, let me know what your favorite things are. You look like a Ravenclaw. Good. I need to make sure I keep up appearances. That being said, when I was doing the test, my Ravenclaw blew the other ones out of the water, but my second highest were the same. It was Hufflepuff and Slytherin. Apparently they're equal. But yeah, so ultimately, like, yeah, when I started video games, the big thing was Game Boy for me. When it came to anime, I was starting off of, like, on mainstream anime, like Bleach, Naruto. I was into Dragon Ball Z, of course, Pokemon, like, when it came to that. But when I started to binge into anime myself, I I really got into like slice of life anime and even like romance or harem anime. Like I like I it always felt like when I was watching mainstream anime, the big thing that it was missing was actually delivering the romance elements properly. So I got really into anime that did it better, also did it worse at the same time. But yeah, so the overall idea of this podcast is just wanting to talk about all kinds of our favorite things. Um, Now, when it came to comics, I have a very interesting background into comics. As in, I don't have any background in comics, but I always wanted to. Like, when I was a kid, there was a comic book shop right next to this tanning salon that my mom went to all the time. And I always wanted to go there and just look at the comics and stuff like that. But when I was younger, my mom wouldn't let me, like, leave the tanning salon. So, like, it was always one of those scenarios where I almost did it, but I could never actually get into or actually start it. And then, like, the other like caveat to comics is like I never knew how to actually start comics. So most of my information regarding comics is like either watching stuff like the MCU, or I would just be genuinely interested enough in a single character, and so I would like wiki search their information. That's how I know a good chunk of information regarding the Robins, was just because I was so confused at like the whole Robin thing. And then like it showed me the different Robins and like all the like when each one came into play and stuff like that. So I did think that was that's kind of funny. Um let's see. Do you believe a Griff can be a Ravenclaw? I believe anyone can be a Ravenclaw if they believe. Oh, actually, it's interesting that you brought it up. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up an article that I was just looking at, because with all the Hogwarts Legacy stuff going on right now, I figured I'd end up talking about it at some point. But there's an article on Game Rant that talks about a couple of statistics revealing the most popular house choices. And we already expected, if you ask me, we already expected Slytherin to be like the number one like house. But I was kind of curious in like what the other ones people were interested in. And now that Standard has come out, it looks like we have Slytherin in first, then Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff. I'm going to be honest, I really thought that Hufflepuff would be higher. I really thought that Ravenclaw would be the lowest. And I don't know, like I am kind of surprised that Gryffindor is as high as it is. It's like when I was a kid and like the movies and stuff were coming out, I was really into like being Gryffindor because I wanted to run around with like Harry and the gang. Like I wanted to be a Gryffindor just because of that, right? But as I got older and as you get more of the movies and stuff and you start to learn more about the lore, I just kind of connected more with Ravenclaw because to me, like Ravenclaw is the embodiment of someone that is obsessed with the lore of a verse. Like you become part of the wizarding world. Like the number one thing I want to do is learn everything. Let's see. All right, you too. You have a great night too. Let's see. Oh, hi. How's it going? I'm doing a unique little podcast thing, which I guess I'll mention periodically and stuff. I hope that doesn't end up too bad for like the audio listeners and whatnot. When I convert it over, I'm not sure how exactly to best format things. I'm still like kind of learning on everything like that, but like I figured that I could just take this time to just talk about, you know, fandom as a whole, all of the crazy things going on with the stuff that I like, and just kind of, you know, talk about it with everyone. So to go more into like my expertise regarding the geek culture and stuff, when it comes to like TV shows and movies, I'm usually fairly caught up in like the most like geeky of it. I would say like I would say that I am currently behind on The Walking Dead. Because I had the hardest time sitting down and watching Fear, because I wasn't getting that into like the characters and stuff like that. But in terms of like the MCU, I'm very caught up with a vast majority of it. The only downside about the MCU is so much happens and there's so many series that like I often forget events like as a whole, like things that happened. It's definitely one of those things to where like you feel obligated to rewatch, but then it's like there's so much, like how do you consistently rewatch this? There needs to be like a better way to take notes or something. But I don't know if this particular episode will be be too long, because like I think like the big aspect behind it is going to be about just getting our feet wet into like what this podcast is going to be about. I'll make sure to have like proper topics and like yeah, I think each episode will be about me like kind of scrolling through the internet and looking at the different news of different things that's currently going on, checking all that stuff out, and just kind of generally talking about it and seeing, you know, who gets interested and stuff like that. But and then outside of that, we'll probably go into you know, my thoughts and feelings regarding all these things. And yeah, I do think and then I'll definitely have like a questionnaire thing going on or something like that, or like or anything else, what have you. And then I do think down the line I'll definitely keep things open for like people to like jump in and talk to me about, you know, various different topics and stuff, to see if that's something that they want to do. But I do think I'll need to make it to where like there's going to be like a whole segment for that, a whole like separate like time when that happens, so that way everything can stay on task and stuff like that. Because when it comes to me in general, I can ramble about things for, you know, a very long time, and excuse me, and what's the word, lose track of topic, or lose track of the conversation, the direction I'm supposed to go with it and stuff like that. So I'll definitely probably need my girlfriend to keep track of things for me. But for the most part, yeah, I think that about sums up what this episode's about. And yeah, so like if anyone's interested, definitely, you know, follow me on TikTok. Definitely go into my link tree. If you came across it on TikTok, actually I think on everything it'll just always have my link tree. So feel free to definitely click on the link tree in whether it's the description of like the podcast itself, or whether it's whatever else. And on that you can follow me everywhere. I think it'll just be an easier way to do that. Make it easier for people to, you know, keep track of things, learn about what all's going on and stuff like that. And outside of that, yeah, this I think this will be fun. I think this will be a good idea to just kind of, you know, talk about, you know, all these things. I think this will be a fun ride. So, yeah, I hope that's something that people will enjoy, and I'll definitely do this. This will be pretty cool. But as a quick sneak peek to anyone that has like made it this far, the next episode I think will probably be about, I think the best thing to do where we are right now, the next episode will be about Hogwarts Legacy. And all of the very first episode into the podcast will be about Hogwarts Legacy and all of the fun aspects about it, how we're enjoying the game, and then we'll probably also take a moment to talk about the controversy around it and where people are going from there on. So if that sounds particularly interesting to you, definitely follow for that, and I hope to see more people there. This will be pretty exciting. All right. See you guys next time.